G'day Australia, Tim here from Beef It Up Australia and Let's Get Raw. We're here at the Nandaly Hotel. I'm talking to Joseph. G'day Joseph, how are you?
Yeah, good mate.
So how long have you been here?
Born and bred in Nandaly, so my whole life. Yeah, so.
You haven't lived your whole life here yet?
No, not yet. But,
no, not yet, because you're still alive.
That's it, yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yep.
So what are some of the things that have been going on with Nandaly? Do you know anything about the original history of the place?
Original history, a long time ago. It was, I think, a lot of settlers plots from the World Wars, I think, so. It's a pretty tough country early days, scrub clearing, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, you're proof of that, aren't you?
Yeah. A bit tougher than me back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, because I think it started roughly around about 1916, I think, was the onset of Nandaly, probably a couple of years before.
Yep.
And as they grew, they had 3 churches here at one stage.
Yep.
They had a primary school.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and then after they built the child care centre, they also had a district nurse or something here as well at some stage, didn't they?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of different things that have been and gone from back in the heydays. Like, I think we're down to one church now.
Is that the one up on the hill up there?
Yeah, the Catholic Church is still up on the hill, so the Romans always go for the top of the hill.
Right.
Yeah.
It's easy to defend, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Is that the old school up there opposite?
Yeah, the opposite is the school as well, so yeah, it's been closed for a long time now. Yeah, it's all the students now going to Sea Lake to school.
That's a long walk.
It is a long walk, yeah, thank God.
But they're Mallee kids,
yeah, they're Mallee kids, they're tough, yeah.
So along with everything else, you got a post office?
No, well, that closed 4 years ago now too. So yeah, the no post office as well. So as far as connection, I guess, with the community, the hotel is the glue that keeps everyone together at the moment.
All right. We've noticed there's an old shop across the road.
Yep.
Is that still operational?
No, that's not operational. That was the post office as well. So they had 100 years trading, and on the 100th year they decided to close up for health reasons, and the owners moved away as well.
Well, being 100 years old or 100 plus to run that shop, they'd have some health reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. So the once the shop closed down, and the post office went with it. So that was used to be a real meeting point for the locals.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Obviously now we've lost that as well.
Right. So you don't have a swimming pool?
No. Even the dams are all dried up. So.
Oh, that's a bugger. You can't go for a dip.
Yeah. No more yabbies.
So is that a railway station at one stage?
Oh, a long time ago as well, yeah. But, so
was that when you were a little tacker?
No, gone before then, yeah. I think the last railway line, the last time the railway would have been through here was 20 years ago, I reckon. The railway trucks, yeah. Yep. So, yeah, the railway line's been stopped since then as well.
So that would have been roughly around the same time as the footy oval?
Yeah, about pretty much the same, yeah. Everything's sort of... probably early 2000s, everything sort of moved on. Even before then, actually, probably looking at the food club, I think it was 93 or something, they joined the Sea Lake.
I noticed some of the photos up there, and they've gone from what looked like the Hawthorn jumpers to Essendon jumpers to the original South Melbourne Sydney Swans jumpers, and then why Richmond?
You can blame the Berrywillick Bullfrogs for that one, the Colgoa guys. So Berry Colgoa, they were by themselves, and then Sea Lake Nandaly, Berry Colgoa, they all combined together. So they took Sea Lake Nandaly's name with the Berry Colgoa Tigers jumper.
So they've actually got 4 footy teams in one.
4, pretty much, yeah. Yep.
That's why they've won so many flags the last few seasons.
They've been pretty successful, yeah. Last year was 2019 was a real good year. They first, seconds, and under 16. So, yeah.
Well, fellas like you playing for them, no wonder they win.
I've never played a game for them, actually. No.
Oh, no. You've been here most of your life and you never played a game of footy for Nandaly?
No, never. Not for Nandaly, no.
So what are some of the things that you do around here, besides working out on the farm or working out
on
the
farm? So, yeah, there's a bit of, in the summertime, this time of year, there's a bit of tennis that still goes on. Obviously with COVID, been pushed back till about January, so tennis is pretty big. We've got Green Lake at Sea Lake's not far away, so a lot of water skiing and that sort of stuff goes on, and Orion's got a lake as well for water skiing.
Oh, right.
A lot of fishing? Bit of fishing, yeah, there's a little bit of fish there.
Tell me a little bit more about the pub.
So the Nandaly Community Hotel, we lost our previous public and it was very popular. Man, Barry Kennedy, he moved here, he was here for about 10 years or so, and he, just from health reasons, he was battling a bit at the end, and so he closed the pub down, and things were looking in a bit of strife there for a bit, and then when he passed away, the opportunity came up that his family didn't want to deal with the pub anymore, and this asset sitting here, so we got a working group together, and we asked them if they were interested in selling the pub to the local community, and they said they were. So once we sort of got that ball rolling, we asked the local community if they'd like to buy the pub. So we had to come up with the purchase price, and we did that fairly quickly. So that was all right to buy the pub. We did that relatively, quickly. And then once we got here, we realised we had a lot of work to do. And so the money that we bought the pub with, we looked at it, and we've nearly had to spend double that into getting it into the shape it is today.
But at least it's been a community effort.
It's been amazing for the community, yeah. And working bees are generally pretty hard to get people to, but when you say, can we get a hand at the pub to do working jobs, it's amazing how many youths can turn up pretty quick.
Especially when you'll drop work.
Yeah, you'll drop work, yeah.
Because they know at the end of it they're going to get a cold beer, which they've got to pay for anyway. So all the money that's spent basically in the community over the park goes back into the community.
It just stays here, yeah. It doesn't go anywhere. So it's that's something we've stipulated from the very start, was any money that we make here, it actually stays here. It doesn't go past the signs at the front of the gate there. So it's a really great vehicle to drive community spirit and just keep people in town. But the best part about it is now we own the pub. We've built the pub for the way that we want it. So we've got a nice lawn out the front now for the kids just to run around in, and we've made it comfortable. So it's a real family atmosphere here now too.
So no rat bags?
No rat bags.
Who's a local larrikin?
Well, we've got a few of them. Friday night, it's like a chook raffle, mate. Everyone gets a ticket.
That's all right. I'll ask Dee shortly about if she thinks you're the biggest larrikin. So, with everything else going on, what's some of the things that you think the pub provides for the community?
I think we provide it's the social centre for the town. It's especially this year with COVID, we found there was no footballs on Saturdays, and no footy training Thursday nights, where the barbecue and the beer, you have a couple of beers and you go home, and that was all taken away. So one thing the hotel has been able to provide is that social interaction for people. We all sit on tractors a long time, do long hours on the farm, and the farms are getting bigger, so you don't see your neighbours as much as you'd like, but you can lock in one or two maybe nights where you can say, if I go to the pub on Friday night, I can have a tea with another family that are just down the road, and we can organise that.
But you haven't seen for the week.
Yeah, you haven't seen them for a week, and I think everyone needs, phone calls. They do a certain part, but sometimes I think that face-to-face interaction is what this pub provides for our community.
Well, that's really good. The pub is the central hub of any community.
Absolutely. It is.
Without that, community not only falls apart, they leave.
Yeah, they do. And now that we've got this hotel, we're finding a lot of people that moved away want to come back and see what they've contributed to. So people have still got a connection to Nandaly, even though they moved away sometimes 30, 40 years ago. Their connection's still here, and that's what this pub provides.
So you could see Nandaly grow again, and maybe get another store or post office in one, and
maybe, yeah, but even just, I think just even for somewhere for people to come back, and you went for a drive around, you seen the golf club was closed and the footy club was, no access. We've got photos in the pub of some local history, so when people come to visit, they'll spend half an hour looking around at the walls, because the connection's still here from 30, 40 years ago to today.
So memories don't fade. Friendships don't fade.
Yep.
And the people that you meet and become friends with and get to know and have a good chat with, you never forget. In a small community, that means everything to a community.
Yeah, it does. Yep. And I know, people have been that have called in here the last few months and haven't been here for 15 years. And some things, you've got the new walls and stuff up, but as soon as they walk in, they still feel the same as what they did 40 years ago,
Yeah.
which is testament to what we've got going here, I think.
Besides working out on the farm, do you do anything here at the pub?
Every now and then, yeah, I don't mind pulling a few beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like just to, if anything needs doing, don't mind helping out. So if we ever get stuck, we've got about 20 locals that all went and got their RSAs. So,
Oh,
when
cool.
things get tough,
There's always somebody.
yeah, and people dig in. Yeah, so,
You always got somebody there that's going to say, okay, I'll be the designated pourer tonight.
yep.
Somebody else can be the desi driver.
Yeah, and well, the desi driver, that's pretty hard work, but the desi pour is not too bad. So, and one thing that we've been able to provide is jobs for our local kids. Like they can go get their RSAs and when they're 18.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a gap year between year 12 and university, so they can get a few little skills while they're here and laugh at their parents while they're having a couple of beers and drive them home. it's a win-win.
That is a win-win for the kids,
for
isn't
the
it?
kids.
So what does community mean to you?
To me, I think it's stability. I like the community that we live here. I know my kids, they feel safe when they come to the pub and they know everyone. So I think that's a pretty cool thing around Nandaly is everyone knows everyone trusts everyone. And I think we've built up a lot of trust and everyone's pretty proud now too with what we've got going on here. And I think when you've got a bit of pride in the community, I think it just drives everything else. So
Yeah.
I'm really wrapped with how this has all turned out, and it hasn't been just money; it's just been hard work as well. So,
And on top of that, you've grown up with just about everybody in the town and the
yeah,
community.
that's right, and we're giving people a reason to stay here too.
That is indeed.
Yeah, so I think it's a testament to the whole community.
Yeah, no, it is, and from what we've seen in the pub and having a look around town, the community is all stuck together, and it's just amazing to help keep something alive in the town that's going to keep the community here.
Yeah, that's right, and something for our kids. We all want our kids to come back one day and experience the world, but if we've got a little light for them to come back to, I think that's going to be pretty important.
Just one more thing. Are you going to retire here?
I'm guessing I probably will, yeah. Yes, I'd reckon. I can't see me going anywhere else at the moment.
You've got about 45 odd years to go before
you
retire.
So I'd like to be like my grandfather and probably sit under one of these about 2 o'clock in the arvo. That'd be the dream when I'm retired. But
you'll get there.
One day.
You'll get there one day. Cool, Joseph. Thank you very much for the chat, mate.
Thank you.
And I'm going to have a beer and I'm going to have a chat with Dee.
No worries. Thanks for coming.
No worries at all. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Good on you. Hey everybody, Tim again, and we're still at the Nandaly Hotel, and we're talking with the beautiful Dee. How are you, Dee?
Good, thanks.
So how long have you been here?
Well, 26 years roughly, I'd say.
26 years?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Just the other side of Sea Lake, a little farming town called Woomering.
Wormalang, so that's not far from Lascelles either, is it?
No, that's right.
So what brought you to Nandaly?
My husband. I married a farmer here.
You married a farmer here?
Yes.
So you come from a farming community and you married into a farming community?
Yep, met him at school in Sea Lake.
So you met in the middle?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So you also know that you're not far from your original home as well?
Yeah, that's right.
You always go back and visit family?
Yeah, although most of them have moved away now, but that's, not too far away. Yeah.
That's just a hop, skip and a jump or a walk. So, do you know much about Nandaly?
Oh, I know a little bit. Like I know, what various locals have told me, and obviously what I've observed since I've been here. And I do enjoy a bit of, local history. So I've done a little bit of reading, but yeah.
So, what have you read up on that you might be able to give us an insight into with Nandaly?
Well, I know just over the road, I think 1970s and prior, there was a large brick pub, and it actually burnt to the ground, unfortunately, in that very, very early 70s, I believe.
I wonder how many times I've heard that talking to publicans in different places, that there was more than 1 or 2 pubs in a town and one's burnt down.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the story here. And I think originally, when the settlers first came, the sort of the general store and the post office had a wine bar. I think they called it a wine bar or something like that within it.
Because at one stage they, from what I read in the histories of it, at one stage they reinvigorated the wine bar at one stage, and then after a few years it closed down again.
Yeah, and I think it was run by a lady at the time, and anyway it evolved or it grew into the pub on the corner. And then when it burnt down, this place here was actually a general stores come petrol station, and the publican bought from across the road, bought here and turned it into a pub.
So you got rid of the servo, you got rid of the general store, and you turned it into a pub.
And that across the road became the general store. And in the interim, so there was 12 months between the brick one burning down and this one being turned into a pub. They had a makeshift, like a little tin shed that a little tavern that they would sell.
As long as
I
it's
think there was
still
even
sold
like
beer.
flapping hessian at the front of it and all sorts. But yes, no, they did. They didn't go without a drink.
As farming community, you can't go without a drink.
No.
Especially when you come out from the paddocks and you're all hot and dusty and dry.
Yeah, that's right.
So they needed that cold beer.
Yeah, it's sort of like it marks the end of a hard day's work. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you work 10k down the road or 30k up the road and you live here.
Yeah.
You always know that you're going to get a cold beer at the end of the day, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you need it, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's just that unwinding and that relaxing and the meeting up with others and debriefing. I guess farmers debrief about their day. So do farmers' wives.
Well, yeah, I read something about that. It's with the pub. It's not only here for the community bought and re-established, but it's also a major player in helping deal with the mental health issues.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the community.
Yeah, farmers, young mothers. It's really lonely. I mean, my children are grown up now, 18, 16 and 12, but being a young mum and with being wife of a farmer and, they're out all day, sometimes late into the night, and you've got these young kids and you don't just have a next door neighbour you can knock on the door. If you want to see somebody else, you've got to pack all the kids into the car and you've got to drive to that neighbour's, which could be 3 or 4 k's away.
Yeah.
If they're your friend, to to have a chat or whatever. So to know that you can come here, you don't have to arrange it, necessarily, but you can come here and there's going to be other people here that you can talk to, and you can sort of just get out of the house as a young mum. Yeah. That's really important. And we do have some groups of young mums at the moment who come here and they do just that.
So you do have a young mums group?
It's not official. It's not official, but there's just a nice little generation of little kids coming through at the moment, and it's nice to see. And I think Joseph was saying about us putting the grass out the front. It's just nice to see the little ones here running around and having their bowl of chips and their Fanta.
I've noticed there's not much traffic, so they're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there, and of course there's always
got all the outdoor seating and so some.
So what other things did they hold here at the pub?
We've had a few events, I guess you'd say, since we opened. Probably the biggest and the best so far was our pig races day.
The what?
Pig races. Just basically your Christmas celebrations and things like that. Yeah, it's been really great.
I noticed some committees have their meetings here at the pub too.
Yep.
So it's a meeting place, not just for young mums and mates and farmers and everything else, but also for sporting.
So the tennis club, and also we have another cooperative in town, which is our grain cooperative across the road, and they have their meetings here as well. So that was another community generated enterprise.
Well, I can understand why. It's beautiful inside here.
So we are, our pub actually is a cooperative, a not-for-profit cooperative, and that's how we set it up. I think Joseph was saying a moment ago that anything that's made at the pub goes back into the pub, and the shareholders, which it was just amazing the amount of people who were willing to put money in to get this place up and running, and it just showed you how important it is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
As we said before with Joseph, that the pub is what holds everybody together. It's the glue of the community.
Yeah, and that was evident when you had so many hands going up. And we made the decision with the shares to make them very affordable, and so even somebody with not a lot of money, you know, for $250, you can have a share in this pub.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And you could buy as many of those shares as you wanted, but you only needed one to be a member. And so, I think we have over 100 members.
So within the time frame that the community has bought the pub and got it back up and running to where it should be, how many have been kicked out because of unruly behaviour?
Oh, we're really well behaved around here.
So who's the biggest larrikin, do you think?
Oh, jeepers. My husband would be right up there.
To help out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually the secretary-treasurer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, of the committee.
Who does the cooking?
Oh, we have a cook, great cook. Yeah.
So you don't take in turns?
No. We have at different times when we haven't been able to get the staff. We have had volunteers. So we do have people in the community with their food handlers who have worked in the kitchen.
I was going to say, because then you wouldn't have the problem with somebody going, oh, that's better than my wife, so you cook better than my husband, and things like that.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how people will step in. We've had people volunteering behind the bar, you know, just saying, don't worry about paying me, it's just I'm doing my bit.
Yeah.
If someone's been sick or they've not been able to come to work or whatever, or we've had that gap in between staff. Yeah.
So do you do, what sort of things that goes on with the community and the pub to help raise funds for like the tennis club and preschool and things like that?
Well, sometimes it will do things like, and unfortunately there's been none of that happening this year, things like clearance sales or the field days. Okay. So you might sell drinks or perhaps have a roll on the gate, you know, and taking the entrance fees, and then that, that organisation, be it the person having the clearing sale or the Speed Lions Club who run the field days, will then pay you for that service, and then that can then be distributed amongst
cool.
the different committees.
So it's still staying
who've helped out.
So it's still staying within the community as to where it goes to.
Yeah, there's a number of different things, catering events, you know, things like that. Mm-hmm. Like I was saying, when we have the meeting for the co-op, it's a catered affair, and the cooperative over the grain cooperative will pay for that catering, and then that goes to the tennis club.
Oh,
in that
nice.
situation. Yeah.
And when the tennis club have their meeting, it gets catered for, their dividends go to the co-op.
Don't work that way. But yeah.
That sounded good, though. So what does community mean to you?
I just think it means being there for each other.
Right.
I don't know how to elaborate on that, but I guess in my role at the committee, and I was probably one of the instrumental members of the committee in moving and shaking and getting things done. There's always somebody that I can call upon, you know, just for different areas of expertise.
Yeah.
You know, okay, we need this. This is a technical problem, you know, so we'll go to this fella. Oh, this one needs some manual labour. We'll go to this person.
The electrical.
Exactly.
In the group
Exactly. And same with plumbing. Yeah, you're right. Dead right.
Yeah. So it's everybody that's a part of the co-op of ownership of the pub, they've all got a different area.
Yeah, they just.
Basically, they can.
I suppose it's just as it is in life. Everyone's got their strengths. So I've learned to be able to draw upon other people's strengths and have that help us all come together and be there for each other. You know what I mean?
And that's community.
Yeah, that's community.
And they're all each other there to help out with mental health issues as well.
Yeah, that's right. And as I was saying before, that's right. Yeah, just being here at the end of the day when you need a cold beer and someone to talk to and to ask, you know, how did your grain yield, or what spray did you use, or
Not many
it's
farmers
sort of,
do that with their neighbours, do they?
Oh, I do, yeah. They talk shop a lot just to, I guess it's, I don't know, it's just part of bettering themselves as farmers and learning from each other.
Because if you don't learn from each other, then one could, next year, could have a bumper crop, and the other one could have a really bad crop, and that bad crop could be their make or break.
That's right.
And you don't want to see another farmer go under, because it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, everybody needs a farmer of some sort.
Yeah. And I've been in here before where someone's come in and said, oh, such and such has got, you know, their machinery bogged, or, and then, you know, 3 or 4 blokes will just put their pot down, get up and into the ute and go and help. That's what it's about. That's community.
Oh, you've got that absolutely dead right. And that is the true spirit of community and the embodiment. Thank you, Dee. Thank you for the
my pleasure.
You're welcome. I'll let you get back to what you're doing and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. G'day everybody, Tim again. I'm still at Nandaly Hotel, talking to Dave. You're the bar manager here, Dave, aren't you?
I try.
You try?
Yep, still got my, well, I've gone from L plates to P plates.
L plates to P plates. That's an Aussie term. You're not from here, are you?
I was born in Canada.
And what brought you to Australia?
I was a backpacker
Yeah?
in the late 80s and loved the place and became a citizen.
So what brought you to Nandaly?
Through Moo's wife, the first chap you interviewed.
So what's the weirdest thing you've seen any of the farmers or the community bring in?
Nothing, that's right, just, you know, guys coming up in the lawnmowers. Campbell came in on his tractor the other day. Paul came in on his tractor to get a slab. It's just stuff that's really funny.
So since you've been here in this community, how have you found it?
I mean, unbelievably welcoming.
You know, you're allowed to tell the truth.
Well, you know, I thought I'd get some grief. I haven't done this since I was a kid in school.
Yeah.
But everyone's been, you know, my beers were pretty crap. You know, they were like ice creams the first week or so. Campbell said, clearly you're not a bartender. And I was open on a Sunday for a special day for something, and it was just swamped, and everyone's letting their hair down, and Moo just jumped in and started pouring beers for me, or Dee will jump in. Keg runs out, Jack will go back and change the keg for me, or Trav, her husband, and people just jump in. It's just amazing.
That's a good thing about a small community.
Because everyone's got the RSA, it's great.
Yeah, and that's a good thing about a small community.
Yeah.
Really good at chat with you, Dave. Hey, good on you, mate. We'll let you go and have your lunch now, yeah?
Thanks very much.
Good on you,
Great to
mate.
meet you.
Enjoy.
Good luck.
Thank you. You
Thanks.
too.